Hey, hey, hey. Hello, good afternoon. Happy December 1st, 2021 to everyone. And thank you for joining me on this episode of Office Hours with Lanora. Today's episode of Office Hours with Lanora, we're going to center and talk more about continuing education for real estate professionals. Office Hours with Lanora serves 3 points. The first point is for anyone that's interested in learning about the options for licensure. Point number 1. Number 2 is for anyone that has already started a real estate pre-licensing course to help them pass that licensing course or the test itself on a first attempt. And point number 3 is for anyone that started the real estate journey, actively licensed, a real estate professional in the field, help them to stay in this industry. Okay. So as I mentioned, we're going to talk about CE, continuing education, and getting it done early. The reason why I chose the topic of continuing education for December 1st is because the clock is ticking, tick, 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 tick. So for those of you that don't know, you're earning or potentially will be earning a real estate license, a license that has to be renewed in the state of Illinois every 2 years. The renewals are as follows. There are 3 different licensing types for the state of Illinois. The first one is as a residential leasing agent. Residential leasing agents must complete continuing education, which is due by July 31st on the even number years. So July 31st, residential leasing agent renewal is due. So continuing education for that. It's 8 hours of education that is due. If it's the first renewal, you simply pay the renewal fee, and we'll talk more about that soon. Your second renewal, you'll do the 8 hours of continuing education, okay? The next license type in the state of Illinois is as a broker. A broker license must be renewed every 2 years by April 30th of even number years. So in this case, the next broker renewal will be April 30th, 2022. By that time, those that are actively licensed currently as a broker must complete, if it's their first renewal, a minimum of 45 hours post-licensing as a course. 45-hour post-licensing course. If it's the second to infinity renewal, they're completing 12 hours of continuing education. Once that 12 hours of continuing education or the 45 hours of CE is completed, then you would pay the $150 renewal fee to IDFPR, okay? And the third and final license type in the state of Illinois is as a managing broker. Managing brokers must complete 24 hours of continuing education. 12 hours will be dedicated to a broker management course. And then there is a breakdown of another 12 hours of continuing education. Once the brokers complete their 24 hours, which is also due by April 30th, but this time of the odd number years. So the next managing broker renewal cycle will be April 30th of 2023. 2023, okay? So don't get it confused. Brokers are even number, April 30th. Managing brokers are odd numbered years, April 30th. And then residential leasing agents would be July 31st of even number years. So now that we got all of that out of the way, let's talk about the actual requirements for licensure. And I'll start with the residential leasing agents. Remember, I just said, if it's your first renewal and if you have earned a license before May 1st of 2020, you simply need to pay the $100 renewal fee to the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulations, aka IDFPR. That is the entity that issues the license for the state of Illinois. So all real estate licenses are issued by IDFPR, the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulations. So residential leasing agents due by July 31st, 2022 is the next renewal. You must complete a minimum of 8 hours of CE, which is a package. It's already bundled for you. You don't have to go out looking, well, let me take 4 hours over here and 2 hours over there. Nope, it's already packaged for you, and I can definitely help you learn more about that. If it's your first renewal as a leasing agent, you just simply pay the $100 renewal fee. No CE is required, okay? Let's move on to the brokers because it's a little complicated with brokers. The broker CE is as follows. If your license was issued between November 1st of 2019 and October 31st of 2021, so November 1st of 2019 and October 31st of 2021, you must complete 45 hours of post-licensing coursework. Because this is your first renewal. Your first renewal, you are not doing the traditional continuing education. So although it's synonymous and you're thinking, let me do my CE, for my newbies, my newly licensed real estate professionals, you are doing post-licensing. It is very confusing. So if you don't understand, feel free to schedule a time with me through my Calendly app and let's get you on board or up to par or whatever, up to speed on what you need to do. So the first renewal between November 1st of 2019, October 31st of 2021, if your license was issued by IDFPR in that time frame, you are completing 45 hours of post-licensing. Now, the 45-hour post-licensing course is made up of 3 parts. It's 15 hours each. So the first 15 hours will lead, it's about transactional. I just forgot the name of the dang on course. Hold on, y'all. Let me get the name. Why did I just forget? It is Transactional Issues. That's what it is. Couldn't think of issues. So the first 15 hours is pertaining to transactional issues. In this first 15 hours, we're going to talk about fair housing. We'll talk about, no, I'm sorry. I'm going too fast, y'all. We're going to talk about the listing agreements in the first 15 hours. We're also going to talk about offer and acceptance. That first 15 hours, we're going to kind of rub out what it means to be a new broker in your office to kind of help you get up and running and established. Maybe you need to learn more about what it feels like to work with the seller, what that feels like to work with the buyer, the forms, the documents, all of those sorts of things that you'll need to master. We're going to kind of tailor that in this first 15 hours of the 45-hour post-licensing course. And that's under the transactional issues portion. After you finish this first 15 hours, you're going to take a 50 multiple choice question exam. Now, this is the scary part because after each 15 hours, you take that 50 question multiple choice answered exam. You must pass the 50 question test with a 75% or better. If for whatever reason you do not pass 1, 2, or all portions of the 15 hours or the total 45 hours, unfortunately, now your managing broker starts acting as you. You are not allowed to work with your clients in the form of negotiating. And that's what we do as real estate professionals. You're not allowed to collect or hold earnest money for your clients because you've got to pass this total of 45 hours to be eligible to quote unquote do your job. So until you pass that portion, your sponsoring broker, aka your managing broker, will assume those specific duties plus other things for you. So they've already got a lot of responsibility on their docket, on their calendar, to-do list. Don't you be an extra one. So make sure that you're studying, you're giving this enough time. I also encourage, if you are newly licensed and you just got out of that pre-licensing course, take your 45 hours right away, because a lot of what you've learned in that pre-licensing broker course, you're going to see again in the 45 hour. And since it's still fresh in your head, we want you to take the test to get it out, to pass the 45 hours, and to be ready to actively represent your clients, okay? So the first 15 hours pertains to transactional issues. The second 15 hours will revolve around risk management and discipline, okay? So in this second set of 15 hours, this is where we're talking about fair housing. We're going to talk about sexual harassment, antitrust laws, you know, the stuff that you can and can't say. Like, for example, I, Lanora, work for 123 Real Estate, and I've said to another agent or another broker or another customer or client that all real estate companies charge the same thing for commissions. That is an absolute breach of antitrust, because you can't say that. You can't come together as a group to determine what specific rate, commission, or a charge that you're going to charge and everybody else in this area is charging. That's absolutely can't do that. We're going to talk about the discipline portion of your license too. This is where you need to be really, really sure on making sure that you're doing things the right way, because this is where those $25,000 fines, and you could jeopardize your license being revoked, and other things could happen. So we've got to scare you again to tell you before you get out there and start really, really working in the trenches and working really hard representing your clients, the do's and the don'ts, because you don't want to violate any of these antitrust laws or any of the discipline that you may violate, any of the actions that you may receive discipline for, okay? Again, after this set of 15 hours, you're taking another 50-question multiple choice test, and you must pass with a 75% or better. Third, final, but not the least of the 45 hours total, we're going to talk about applied broker principles. Applied broker principles. So if this makes sense to you, it's going to be a bit interactive as well. This is where we're going to talk more about agency. We're going to talk more about tax issues related to the real estate profession and you, because you don't want to be in trouble with Uncle Sam. We're going to talk about advertising, what you can and can't say, how important it is that you know that your business card or any marketing or advertising as a whole has to include your sponsoring broker, aka the real estate office that you're going to be working with. Their name has to appear on all of the documents, whether it's print media, whether it's social media, whether it's any kind of media. You are not an island. You cannot put just your name out there. I can't put on, I'm just using this as a business card. I can't put on this business card, call Lanora at this number. And it doesn't say anything about my sponsoring broker. Choking over here, I'm sorry. One more. Talking too fast. So, whew, I'm back, y'all. So make sure that the final 15 hours, y'all give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Guess who's back? All right, guys. Okay, make sure that you remember after the 15, I'm choking, my gosh. I've never done this on the lab. So just make sure you remember the final 15 hours of that applied broker principles. You're taking a 50-question multiple choice test again. And the magic number is 75% you'll need to pass. Okay? Next up, for those that have been licensed before November 1st of 2019, if your license was issued before November 1st, 2019, again, November 1st, 2019, if your license was issued before that time, you must complete 12 hours of continuing education, okay? So this technically is not your first renewal. So if it's renewal number 2 to whatever number that you've been in the business, you must complete 12 hours of continuing education. And at this point, you get to choose. You get to pick what you want to take in terms of your education. So this is where I see those people that might want to learn more about the commercial side of real estate. They'll take classes centered around commercial, whereas commercial people might want to take more residential classes, so on and so forth. Some classes that you can think of, which can also include designations and certifications, would be pricing strategies advisors. Hint, hint, we have one coming up next Saturday, not this Saturday, but December 11th. So if you want to take that, you can take that and get continuing education credit for it. Divorce in real estate, unfortunately, you see divorce happen whether you're in real estate or not. So learn how to work with clients that are they have to separate for whatever reason and have decided to divorce, and how that affects the real estate transactions. Maybe they have a property to sell, or you got to wear special hats being the mediator and the moderator at times in those types of transactions. Let's also talk about code of ethics, because that's a big one. No matter what license you have, whether it's residential leasing agent, whether it's broker, whether it's managing broker, you do need to take a code of ethics course. Brokers, managing brokers, you all need to have that code of ethics course completed by December 31st of 2021. It is mandatory by the National Association of Realtors that your code of ethics course is completed by that deadline, which is the triennial renewal period. So after you take a code of ethics course by December 31st of this year, so 30 days from now, it's due, don't wait, then you won't have to take another code of ethics course for 3 years, okay? It is important that you also know that you can purchase a bundle, where the Realtors Real Estate School, we've selected classes for you already. So you don't even have to think about it. You just have to know, hey, I want to take code of ethics. I want to take my renewal 12 hours related to residential, or I want to take all 12 hours with coursework related to commercial. You can purchase one of the bundles, and I hope many of you took advantage of the Cyber Monday sale that we had this past Monday. But you can purchase one of the bundles. If you're a member, you can get all 12 hours for $85. Non-members can get it for $95, okay? So look on our website. I'll provide information for the CE packages up above. Okay, what else did I want to talk to you all about? Oh, the fees, the renewal fees. So once you complete your, I didn't tell y'all about the manager brokers. They're not up for renewal anyway. But once you complete your renewal period, so you've done all of your CE or your post 45-hour post licensing coursework, what's next? Next, that final step is to go to the IDFPR.com, IDFPR's website, and pay your renewal fee. It does not matter if you do all of the renewal coursework and you skip that final step. You're in trouble, and IDFPR will audit you, and you will have to pay for a late fee, or may have to take additional continuing education, or may subject your license to being non-operative, revoked, canceled, expired, whatever the case may be. Don't fall into that boat. So just go back to IDFPR's website once you've completed all of your post-licensing or CE coursework, and pay the following fees. If you're a leasing agent and you're renewing, you're paying $100. If you're a broker and you're renewing, you're paying $150. If you're a managing broker and you're renewing, you're paying $200. The due date, deadline, finito finish time period to get this paid would be by April 30th, 2022, if you're a broker, by July 31st, 2022, if you're a residential leasing agent, and by April 30th, 2023, if you're a managing broker. Okay? I did talk about managing broker. See, y'all not talking to me. Talk to me, somebody. I did talk about the managing broker requirements. So that's all I have, people. I always chose to do my renewal when I was actively representing clients in the month of December, usually in the month of November, because I was trying to get CE out of the way before the holidays started. So now that we're in the middle of a few holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Thanksgiving, we're in between all of these different holidays. It is now crucial for you to get your CE done. If I was a newly licensed broker, I would not wait to get my 45 hours done. You are jeopardizing your license that way. Get it done now. Brokers, get your CE done now. Definitely, especially brokers, managing brokers, that Code of Ethics course that's due by December 31st of 2021. We have some free options. We have some Zoom webinar options available at the Realtors Real Estate School for our members. So if you're interested or need help in picking your classes or making sure that you've taken what you need to take, give me a call, give me a jingle, schedule an appointment. It's always best to get booked on my calendar, and that way I can have more one-on-one time with you. But until then, I'll leave the dates of upcoming classes for 2022. January, we'll start our bank of additional broker, leasing agent classes, Saturdays, evenings, all-day sessions. All of that will start in January. So I look forward to working with you in the very near future. I have one more live for this year, and we're going to be talking about vision boards in about 2 weeks. I've already started putting one of them together. I'll have more for you. But until we meet again, ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.